I love roguelikes. The higher stakes make me play with everything I've got for each run. I like how much replayability each one offers. Plus, it's almost exclusively about the game. Like, does that make any sense? Like, there's no forced walking, there's no inconsistencies in gameplay due to plot contrivances. Even story-heavy games like Going Under, Children of Morta, and Hades make sure to have the game part be pure game. But mostly I like roguelikes because I enjoy pain, but sometimes I'd like it if my roguelikes would at least not wear high heels to bed, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's punishing doesn't mean it needs to be completely unapproachable. It should probably be the opposite, especially if there's a lot to learn. Because I genuinely did not like Dark Souls when I first tried it. But I eventually looked up how to get started, and now it's easily one of my favorite game series. But requiring the player to look stuff up is not exactly good game design. So yeah, despite being a bit more experienced with roguelikes and some challenging games, I still felt like Ziggurat 2 was a breath of fresh air due to its welcomingness. First of all, there's actual difficulty options, which is way rarer than it should be. And while you still do rely heavily on RNG, there's so many more tangible choices to be made throughout a run. A recent update even increased the number of perk choices you get every time you level up from 2 to 3. One of my favorite changes was to shrines. They no longer randomly give you good or bad results. You are given a couple options with clear pros and cons, which make the rest of the run far more interesting. When starting, you can choose between a few different runs that each have different difficulties, lengths, and rewards. This also helps with the game's approachability because it moves the goalpost. You're able to get the feeling of true victory more often because of the shorter runs, especially at the beginning. You can also choose your starter items at the beginning of each run, and you're encouraged to try different items for a larger reward multiplier. Plus, mastering items grants global bonuses like character health or all damage of specific elements. And the weapons are fun to adapt to. Some literally lock on or travel in a straight line, but they're all at least a little different. And consistently landing shots with slower arc projectiles is very satisfying. And then there are weirder ones, like the staff that fires in waves from left to right. Great for crowds, not so much for thinner targets, unless you smoothly aim to the right while firing to tighten the spread. It's fun to get the hang of. On top of all that, the actual gameplay is pretty sweet too. The arena designs and the different enemy types will often ask you to do a bit more than circle strafe. Health, ammo, and XP items dropped by enemies will also disappear, so you have to stay on the move for long and short-term survival. Throw in tight ammo pools and enemy elemental weaknesses to necessitate weapon switching, you've got yourself a solid combat loop. Also, you can save and quit at any time as long as you're not in combat. Again, another feature that's way too rare in these sort of games. Also, being able to right-click to back out of menus, I love this feature. I wish I would see it more, just like in Deep Rock Galactic. That's right, I'm still talking about Deep Rock Galactic.
You can't stop me.